G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We're here on the brand new expansion for Age of Empires 4. This is the Sultan's Ascend, and today we've got an absolute banger of a game for you. Spawning in on the south side of the map, playing in the colour blue as the Byzantines, it's MYI Urk. And in the north of the map, in the colour green, playing as the Abbasid dynasty, it's Enigma. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a casted game. We're here on Rocky River, the rockiest of rivers, and we've got some good civilizations for this map. Number one, Abbasid Dynasty. Reduced cost on the dock, which means you've got plenty of fish out here to take advantage of. And number two, you've got the Byzantines, who absolutely love berries. And you know what? There is no shortage of berries on this map. So I'll tell you what, if you're having a very nice day out here, leave a like. Oh, that was a terrible pun. I'm sorry. Leave a like on the video if you're enjoying this Age of Empires 4 content. It really helps out the traction of the videos. Now let's get into it, because we've got an old civ up against a new civ. I'm curious to see how it's going to unfold, and we can already see Urk making one interesting decision, and that is that he is going to ignore water. And I think that's a very valid decision. I think that early on, water can make a lot of sense if you look to try and take advantage of it in specific ways. And that's realistically picking a civilization that has cheap access. So that's your Ayyubids, your Abbasid, Ayyubids, and your Ottomans. They're the main ones. And then, of course, your Japanese as well, which not just has cheap access, but it has the cheaper fishing boats. So I think if you take that route, it's definitely a reasonable way to go. Otherwise, I mean, I'm kind of curious to see exactly the mindset behind Urk and see what he's doing. But my suspicion is a lot of these top players, what they're doing and what they're working with is a build order. Something very specific. And this might just be the one map that he hasn't downvoted that's a hybrid. Because remember, there's 4 hybrid maps. You can only downvote 3 of them. So I reckon that's probably the case. And he's just said, well, I'm just going to stick it with my build. I'm going to see how I go. And to be honest, he's probably up against difficult odds because of that. Because you're going up against a player who is familiar with their civilization. And remember, just to remind you, Enigma, for anybody unfamiliar with this guy, currently rated 2,000 points. That's pretty damn high. Urk sits at about 1,900. So they're pretty close, but still, 2K, that is impressive. This guy knows what he's doing with this civilization. Just remember, Conqueror 3, that starts at 1,600. This guy's 400 points above that. So he is well and truly familiar with this civilization, with what it does, and no doubt we're going to be in for a jolly good game today. Let's check in with him, though, as the age up will be coming through shortly. It's going to be just your standard Abbasid House of Wisdom enjoyer. Which way is he going to go? He's got a couple of options open for him, but I've got a sneaky suspicion it's probably going to be Culture Wing. But we'll have to wait and see how it plays, just simply because normally when you open... See, have a look at here. Normally when you open fishing boats, you go for like 2 or 3 fishing boats, but he's only going for the 2. So maybe he just looks to go for Eco Wing? Is Eco Wing it? Maybe Military Wing could be decent here. I really don't know which way he's going to go. Military Wing would be nice for defense, but... And you'd go for that second TC. Eco Wing would be good because you've kind of already got the basis for a decent economy, because you're not really going to be going into any more on the water, right? At least it doesn't seem that way. And I find that kind of curious. Like, why is he not going? You've got 4 sets of shoreline fish out here. You could get some really decent value from this, but Age Up about to come through. There we go. He goes dropping it off, and it's going to be the Eco Wing. Okay, so that doesn't really surprise me. I mean, to be honest, he could have gone the Trade Wing, and I would have been like, it doesn't really surprise me. He would have clicked up to anything, and I would not have been a surprised drongo. I'll say that much. I really had no idea what way he was going. So we'll just leave it there. Anyway, on the other side of the map, though, Imperial Hippodrome coming in for Urk. Not going to be looking to go for the Grand Winery. Now, let's talk about this matchup, because he's playing against the Abbasid. And I think that that's kind of interesting, because I've done a little bit of theory crafting, and I figured, well, I think in some matchups, you just want to avoid going for the Hippodrome. And this is one of those matchups where it's like, you're playing up against camels, you're playing up against really good spears. Do you really want to waste your time making cavalry against a civilization that loves when you do that? And Urk's gone for the yes here. So we need to try and pay attention to see exactly what's happened. And you can see one of the issues with early base building with the Byzantines coming through right here. He's tried to do a connection across the top, but when he does that, the lumber camp actually can't be placed right next to the forest. So he's had to cancel it, but because he'd built some of it, now it's awkward. And so, yeah, it creates this whole annoying little thing. Yeah, he's had to delete it. Makes sense. I mean, just get it out of here. Get it out of here. We don't want to see it. Anyway, Urk's aged up. Let's have a look and see whether he goes for the horseman. He is going to go for the horseman. So I think this is probably the one exception for it, because as I said, I've been doing a fair bit of theory crafting with the Byzantines. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm still technically a Byzantine main at the moment. My last ranked games are all with the Byzantines, and I was thinking you could probably open up. I think Imperial Hippodrome's really good just to open up with, right? It's nice to have a stable, because at the end of the day, the Grand Winery, like it's not a landmark. It's not a real landmark. It's Pinocchio of landmarks at this stage. Like, I'm a real landmark. No, you're not, Grand Winery. You do not a whole lot of anything, unfortunately. And because of that, I feel like it's kind of okay to go for the Hippodrome. And then just, you know, you're playing that same Malian game that that Corvinus kind of invented. You could, did he? Oh, okay, I thought he popped Triumph already. I was like, excuse me. Where you go for a landmark and that alludes to you going a specific strategy, and then you don't do that. Sort of like, you know, going for the trade landmark as the Malians and then not doing trade. That sort of thing. But have a look here. Got the stone outcropping. He's already taken the stone off the top of it. Sitting there, ready to go. And now he's just going to be twiddling with his thumbs going, okay, well, you already got all your stone and you already got all your gold. You came prepared today, didn't you, mate? You had your wheat bix, that's for sure. I guess we're 6 minutes into the game, so by no means is this a particularly quick strike of the horseman. But I do like the fact that he's opening with this. And what do we see? We see a couple of houses thrown down towards the front. Has he picked up border settlements just yet? Doesn't look like it. Could be on the way through shortly. Wheelbarrow coming in. Archery range is down, and I do like this. My theory is that you probably want to open with like a couple of horsemen and then move into Lametanai together with longbows and try and take advantage of the berries that are on the map. So pick up wheelbarrow, pick up your horticulture, and then just really look to go berry to bush to berry, bush to berry, bush all over the map. And there's plenty of berries on a map like this. So I think that this, you know what, maybe I change my strategy, because at the moment Himiyama is the only map that I've got, the hybrid one that I've got allowed through. I think I'm going to allow this map and then knock down Himiyama. Say, I don't want to play you anymore, Himiyama. But this one's definitely, if you're a Byzantine enjoyer, this one feels pretty good. We've seen players do pretty crazy strategies on this map already. Whether we see anything different this time is going to be the question, though. So this is your standard Mida opening. 3 Sisters coming out early on in the game, and then still staying on stone. In fact, he's got 376 in the bank, so could look for a second TC. In fact, he's got 11 villagers out here. He is making archers, though, and the archers are going to be a consistent drain on the wood income. So going into that second TC will be difficult if those archers remain. You can see now his opponent has added in that second TC a little bit late here, 7 minutes and 36 seconds. And this is where I draw back that initial question that I asked is it really worth it to go for the fishing boats? If we were to consider that this TC would be 2 minutes faster than what it currently is if you didn't go for the water. I mean, he does have a fair bit of water out here. But if you didn't go for it, it would be 2 minutes faster. That's 6 villagers. 6 villagers that will, for the remainder of the game, collect resources. Whereas here, you've got 3 fishing boats that collect resources for a short amount of time. And I think this is part of the same philosophy that Lenok used to use on Mongolian Heights when he played the Chinese. He'd pick the Chinese, and he'd say, you know what, you take the water, I don't care. He'd play up against the Mongols. The Mongols would be like, I'm going to make a barracks, and I'm going to make a fishing boat, and I'm going to take all the water for myself. And Lenok would say, that's fine. I'm just going to go 3 TC Song Dynasty, and I'm going to laugh up, you know, it's going to be good. It's going to be good fun. We're going to have a great time. That's essentially it. I think that's the same philosophy here that you could definitely employ, which I think is a good compromise in balance. I think that's about where you'd want it. I guess the difficulty comes when you've got big open water. I mean, Mongolian Heights was about as open as you get on these sort of competitive maps, right? Short of something like Boulder Bay. But anyway. All right, well, we got Siege coming out. Has he picked up the unique Siege upgrades just yet? No, we don't see Trapezites coming through just yet for him. The Scout is present, which could enhance this damage here on the dock, but he's not even really going to need it at the moment. He's not in a hurry. He's got the archers out as well. Now in the middle of the map, looks like the Dow has joined into the party. Nice little position he's got here. Should be able to... Jeez, that range is kind of wild. I think it's not necessarily the range, it's the projectile speed. Because the projectile speed is quite slow, it looks like the range is insane. But not really. It's just tracking. That's all. Anyway, towards that top side, Enigma's starting to build up a real villager lead now. He's up 8 villagers. Keep in mind, though, some of that is going to be your fishing boats, but surely it's not all villagers. How many villas is he on right now? Can we do a double check here? It says 38 vills, and Urk's on 32. Surely this has not been up for 6. I'm going to have to do some maths over here. All right, well, We'll worry about that later. Scout getting chased away by the horseman. Urk doing a decent job. Let's ride on board with Urk as he's looking to expand out this aqueduct network. Looking to get that 4th cistern in, and you can see he's extending it out right to the berries. Really well done here. Future-proofing his economy. That is for sure. We do have the mercenary house come through, and it looks like he's gone into Keshiks. So putting on pressure early on, and I'm loving this aggression in the feudal age here. One of the things to note, though, with the Byzantines is they feel like a very slow civilization. And up against the Abbasid, I think they might have a decent matchup, because the Abbasid are slow in that they take a bit of time as well to do anything. But you can see we're at the 10-minute mark here, and Urk's finally pushing across the map here. And I'm loving this tri-comp that he's got here. Lamentinite, archers, and the cavalry as well, just to complement it. He's got one of everything. Because I've made the mistake playing the Byzantines before, where you don't go one of them, and your enemy can surprise you, and it can be very costly. If you're up against an opponent who suddenly switches into horsemen, and you don't have any Lamentinite on the field, you're going to have a bad time. Pushing up now towards the enemy's secondary town center. It's sitting on the gold. Definitely tells me that he wants to focus on Castle Age more than anything. Numbers looking pretty good. Enigma going to try and engage here. The Lamentinite on the front do a wonderful job. He's only up against melee units, and the archers at the back are just going to have free reign over the top of this. Keep in mind that his opponent, Enigma, doesn't have any real way to deal with his own, or to deal with his opponent's Lamentinite. He's going to need the focus of the town center to be on the Lamentinite. You can see, oh, never mind, the archers are out. I take it all back. Forget what I was saying. I didn't even see the archers in the back there. Where were they hiding? They must have been hiding somewhere. He's working towards bringing those numbers down, but still the archer numbers for his opponent. Urk doing very, very well as he slowly but steadily comes online with this military. But hold your horses. We've got it coming through. It's going to be that triumph ability. Healing up the Keshiks. He's done a wonderful job of just microing in, microing out, tanking up a lot of the damage here. You can see where the town center is attacking. It's on these cavalry units, and he's getting a lot more value out of it because of the triumph ability. It just allows you to stay a little bit longer under these TCs, ignoring the fire. But it feels like it's beginning to grind to a halt. There's a distinct lack of siege here. Imagine if he just had a single siege unit. This town center would have been down hours ago. Literally out. Before I even started this class, the town center would have been down. That's how long ago it would have been down. And he does, unfortunately, get repelled. So our Byzantine hero for the day, unfortunately, might be coming up empty-handed at this stage in the game. You know, I really do feel like, is it just me, or do Byzantine players really have a desire, or what's the word? They don't like the Kairosophon. It's kind of weird. Is that the first blacksmith? That's the first blacksmith. Please tell me you're going to switch that to Dialecticus. That's what we need to see. All right, come on. Show us how it's done. Plenty of production coming up behind this, though, and have a look at how he's segmenting his base. Can we just remark on this? This is beautiful Byzantine base building right here. How's that for bees for you? That's 4 of the best bees that you'll get in this beautiful video. Beautiful video. I sound like a Filipino. This video is beautiful. Anyway, beautiful little segmentation that he's got here. Has switched it over to Dialecticus. Beautifully done. I love the way that he's put it up here. Absolutely playing this perfectly at the moment. More villagers going to be moving out, and you can see that he's extending out that cistern network once again out towards the aqueduct, or rather out towards that final cistern position. That'll take him up to cistern number 5 on this network. Meanwhile, towards the front, the numbers continue to build. Enigma, he's struggling to keep up. We'll say that much. He's not struggling at all. Where am I pulling that from, that he's struggling to keep up? What was I thinking that he was struggling to keep up? I guess my focus is just like that he's on 2 TC, so I'm thinking he's struggling to keep up. But he's not. Look at the numbers. The numbers are absolutely awesome at this stage. 28 archers up against 27. Now Urk's going to have to fall back. No, not a lot of spears out for him, though. Only the handful. 5 of them at the moment. And Urk now, adding in that second archery range, it could mean that he looks to go overtime with the archers. He's got plenty of them on the field. And I think his opponent's going to look to do the right thing. I think at this stage, they both just want to go Castle Age. That, to me, is the feeling I get. And this is a pretty standard approach. Make a lot of archers. Your enemy can't really push you or do anything. Go Castle Age. I think that's what we're going to have here. Walls starting to come up. A little bit of a raid on that north side. 3 villages going down already. He's picked off 21 this game. Urk still with a disadvantage, though. Down 4 villages against Enigma. He's worked his way into this game. I will say that much, though. Up against the 2 TC, there's really only 2 ways you can play it. Number 1, go 2 TCs yourself. Number 2, create a problem for your opponent. And he has indeed created many a problems for his opponent this game. Diving underneath the town center again. A couple of idle villagers standing by. They will jump inside. He can head to the wood line. for potential villager kills, and he spots it. He's got the scout here with them. So he sees all of these villagers, picks up another villager. Looks like he might even grab a second one on the way out. Indeed he does, and just says, see you later. Let's check in on that other side as the Ayyub about to come through. Expect him to be throwing down the Golden Horn Tower. I'm reckoning right there. Nope, he's going to go in the back of the base. All right, absolutely fine. Good little spot here, nice and safe. All right, well, over on this east side of the map, the economies are strong for Urk. He's got that 25% gather rate bonus increase. He's got all of his eco upgrades bar the mining upgrade, but at the moment he's only got the 2 villagers on stone, so it's not a big deal. The majority of villagers, food, and building a landmark, which are normally wood villages. The question's going to be, once he reaches the castle age, which direction does he go? He's got options available to him. He can look to go into cataphracts. He can look to go for Varangian Guard. I think in this situation, though, up against these numbers, I'd be looking to go into cataphracts. I think that would be the best bet here. And he does have the Hippodrome. He could look for it. Doesn't have the resources in the bank at the moment. And now his opponent looking to push in with perfect timing. Could look for veterancy and +2. Indeed, it's going to be +2 ranged armor. And you can see he's rushing it through. Oh, the Byzantine power spike. Nobody expected this. +2 ranged armor coming straight through immediately. He could also look to switch this over to Dialecticus. Look to get the veterancy upgrade coming through. But now with that ranged armor, he's going to be able to engage at a significantly greater effectiveness. Up to 4 armor on these units. 5 armor on the Keshiks. Basically halving the damage of those archers all of a sudden, and that's going to be massive for him. All of these archers now doing 1 damage against the Keshiks, and look how many he's got. Keep in mind he went for the Golden Horn Tower, which means it's only going to be a couple of seconds before the next round of Keshiks come out. That is such a smart move. Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. You go straight into +2 and immediately get that ranged armor. Because you got to remember, right? So Keshik's got a base of 3 armor, +1 makes it 4. +2 pushes it up to 5. The archer's got 6 damage when you include the +1 that it's got. So 6 versus the 4 armor, it's doing 2 damage. 6 versus the 5 armor, it's doing 1 damage. It reduces the damage of the archer by half. And immediately on that timing, I think his opponent in Enigma has realized, I can't push that. That's a little bit too powerful for me. I'm just going to back off. And definitely the right call there. Now Urk sits up in the castle age. His opponent yet to click up just yet. And remember, it's going to take a while. We're talking 1 hour and 42 minutes. It's a long time before this age up comes through. And that gives Urk plenty of time. He's just looking to go, have a look at the cavalry numbers he's building up here. Keshik's in queue at the moment. He's got 3 more where that came from. Looking to produce them from the mercenary house as well. He is really looking to double down on this Keshik theme. But I tell you what, if there's a highlight for me in this game, it has got to be the Byzantine base building. I love the way that he's done this. I love the way that it's segmented. It really feels so intentional, and that's what I love about it. It is very clear segmentation of the base from our Byzantine player. And for that, chef's kiss. Do we have? Okay, there it is. He's not looking. Is he rushing? He needs to rush it up right now. Needs to be rushed up. You got to throw it over to Dialecticus, even if it's just for a couple of seconds. Reduce that down. I mean, he's still got plenty of time here. Still don't see veterancy coming in on these archers just yet, and that's a consequence of the macro. Have a look at the macro right now. Didn't put villagers on gold before going up, and I think that's a bit of a mistake coming out from Urk at the moment. Albeit one of only the few mistakes this game. He's been playing very well. He's been playing out of his mind, and you have to if you want to have a chance on the Byzantines. Now, that archer upgrade on the way as well. 50 seconds to go. Dialecticus, where are you, my friend? I need you. Still 47 seconds, and now beginning to push through. We enter into the cinematic mode as it is time to witness the power of the Keshik diving in underneath the town center. There's not a lot of spears here, I say that. It looks like there's probably about 15, 16, and there's plenty more where that came from. But now, beginning to push forward. He's looking to try and tee off on any single spearman he can find. The town center is under threat. The age up, not too long before it comes through. Remember, it's going to take time for those upgrades as well. He's going up, I'm assuming the military wing here? No, culture wing. He's got with culture wing, so it doesn't even have access to things like combos or boot camp from our House of Wisdom. But now looking to push through. He's got a nice little choke point there on the funnel. All the Keshiks run forward to meet the spears. They say, "Hey guys, hey, you guys want to fight? Sure, let's do it." Pops that extra little bit of healing as well. You can see right now, but beautiful little position that he's got here. The concave on the front needs the spears to come to it, and there they are. Now coming around the additional Keshiks. Looking to help out that +2 ranged armor, really making a difference. Finally, that veterancy arrives. And now the Keshiks, absolutely no spearmen here. The Gulams have arrived as well. Looking to try and get a bit of assistance from them. But the archers just continue to tee off. Meanwhile, behind this, the reinforcements have arrived. The Keshiks, they're looking strong. That's the power of the Golden Horn Tower coming through. Couple of extra archers on their backside, and now overwhelming his opponent. You can see the Keshik numbers brewing here. The power of the Byzantines. Is this it? Is this going to be a world first Byzantine victory in less than, what, 20 minutes? Get out of town. There's no way this is happening right now on my screen. Indeed it is. Oh, it's a world first. The Byzantines have a victory in 20 minutes. Are you serious? It's more than 20 minutes. It's more than 20 minutes. All right, it's not a world first. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go check him out. I'll leave a link in the description of where you can watch Urk live over on Twitch. I'll catch you later. Thank you so much for watching.